My name is Anisha Nixon, and my proposed topic is discussing the impact daily phonics instruction has on reading achievement in students with learning disabilities. This research is being proposed to determine if students with disabilities who receive daily interventions using a multisensory reading program will have an increase of mastery of the basic reading components to increase their proficiency in reading. The research project will collect data on students that receive special education services to track their progress while receiving daily interventions, compared to the rest of the students who will receive weekly interventions, as stated in their individualized education program. Data collection will consist of baseline assessments, progress monitoring, and benchmark assessments to track the progress of learning. The data. According to the Alabama Campaign for Grade Level Reading, Alabama is ranked 49th in the country of fourth grade reading proficiency. The Alabama State Department of Education has an improvement plan that reviews the low achievement levels of students that receive special education services, but there is currently no plan in place to improve the deficits. So as a special education resource teacher, the focus of my research will be on the improvement of reading proficiency in students with learning disabilities that lack mastery in the basic reading foundation skills. The charts shows data that was retrieved from a program that tracks online comprehensive instruction. The data that is provided is of students with disabilities within Craighead Elementary School. It shows the reading performance level as well as the reading domains in which the students are proficient and non-proficient. This data suggests that majority of the students struggles in all domains, which are the basic components of reading. Sample method and description. The sample will include students who receive special education services in first grades through the third grade. The research will be a quantitative study using the results from the beginning, middle, and end of the year benchmark assessments from within the Phonics First Reading Intervention Program. The sample will be a total of 24 students. 12 of those students will be selected for an experimental group, and the other 12 will be selected for the control group. The groups will be selected using simple random sampling to determine who will be in the experimental group and who will be in the control group. The instrumentation and validity. The instrumentation is a research-based intervention program called Phonics First and will be used to provide daily interventions. Benchmark and progress monitoring assessments that are incorporated with the program will be used to collect the data and track the progress of the reading achievement in students with learning disability. The validity, the same benchmark assessments will be administered each time to accurately track the student's progress, and they will be administered to the same test will be administered to all students participating in this study. Collaboration. The collaborative resources will be the general education teachers and the special education teachers to ensure that the students receive the daily interventions. The general education teacher and the special education will be able to collaborate and determine if there's progress being seen within the classroom as well as during the pull-out interventions. The procedures. This will be a year-long study. The study will begin at the beginning of the school year, which is August, and the first assessment of Phonics First program will be administered to all participants to get a baseline score. The experimental and control group will then be selected through the simple random sampling. Once the groups are selected, the experimental group will begin daily phonics intervention using Phonics First reading program. The control group will continue to receive their weekly services as stated in their individualized educational program. The purpose of doing daily and weekly is to determine if increase in reading intervention will help impact and increase progress in phonics. The treatment will be administered daily in the special education teacher's resource room for 45 minutes. Progress monitoring will be administered to the experimental group and control group every 3 to 4 weeks in between the beginning, middle, and the end of the year benchmark assessments. The mid-year benchmark will be conducted in December, and the end of the year benchmark assessment will be conducted in April to ensure that all data can be recorded and progress can be tracked. Confidentiality. The participants will be students who receive special education services and are already under confidentiality. In this study, students will be addressed as student A through Z to ensure that no names are being used, as well as permission being given by parents. For my reflection, the changes that could be done for this experiment or for this research, it says instrument used to conduct the research. My changes to my original plan would be maybe finding more reading programs or phonics programs or something that's more geared towards students with disabilities. I will also conduct additional research to determine what other resources work best for students with disabilities, and just to see what particular strategies that could help these students become more proficient in phonics and working towards becoming readers.